Don't know how to respond at the end of a job interview when the employer asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" I'm going to share 5 of the best questions you can ask at the end of an interview. Hi, I'm Jessie Xylia. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified every time I post a new video about how to elevate your career. I used these tips back when I was job hunting to land top roles and to get employers to fight over hiring me. The worst way that you can answer this question at the end of an interview is to respond, "No, I don't have any questions," which I explained in this video here. Because saying that you don't have any questions, it makes it look like you either haven't done your research about the company or that you just simply don't care. And they don't want to hire somebody like that. It's like you have the whole entire interview, it goes great, and then they ask you that final question and then you just fall flat. It's not a good look. It's not a good way to end. You're not ending with a punch. You're ending with a wah wah. Let's dive right into the questions that you should ask at the end of the interview. Question 1, what is your management style? The reason why I like this question is because employers don't often get this question. And so you can kind of see them struggle a little bit because they're trying to find something smooth to say. Chances are the brutal, honest truth is going to come right out of them. I actually had somebody tell me once, "Oh, well, I don't really enjoy being a micromanager." That told me that he was a micromanager. Run, don't walk if that happens. You don't want to work for anybody who indicates in any way that they are a micromanager. No. Also, they could completely not know how to answer this question. They might be going through their heads thinking, "Goodness gracious, is there supposed to be a particular name of a particular style that I'm supposed to say?" No, they're going to have to freestyle it. They're going to have to give you the brutal truth. They're going to have to do it in their own words. And if they ask you to elaborate on what it is that you mean, kick it right back to them and say, "Well, I'm just wondering how you would, describe your own management style to anybody who would walk in the office or a friend even." Kick it back to them. Don't fall into that trap. Make them tell you their management style. Question number 2, what is your favorite part about working here? They work there. They've been there for a while. They should be able to tell you right away what they like about working at that company. In fact, there should be several things that they like about working for the company. If they're high enough in the company to be interviewing you, there need to be a lot of things. And if there aren't, that's a little bit of a red flag, maybe a lot of bit of a red flag. Question number 3, regarding the position that I'm interviewing for right here and now, is this a new position being created or are you backfilling a role? Now you might be thinking to yourself, backfilling. What is that? That's just a fancy way to say, "Hey, am I replacing somebody who quit or whom you fired?" The reason why you want to ask this question is because depending on what happened with your predecessor, if you are in fact backfilling a role, it's important to kind of know whether they quit or whether they were terminated. It's important to dig a little bit deeper and say, "Hey, if they were terminated, do you happen to know what they did wrong that you're trying to avoid with somebody filling this role now?" You're not trying to be nosy. You're trying to get information that is going to help you in that job. There's nothing wrong with asking that question. If that person quit, you want to know why they quit. Now, are they going to tell you the truth about why they quit? Well, I don't know, but it doesn't hurt to ask and at least try to see if they'll tell you what happened. Sometimes people quit a job because they have very personal stuff happening in their lives and they just need to focus at home or they need to move. And sometimes people quit because they can't stand management. If it's a new role that you're going to be filling, the reason why you want to know that is because there are going to be certain expectations and they might not even really know exactly if their expectations are meeting the role that they're creating. They might have this idea, this fuzzy little idea in their head of what the new role should be about, and you want to dig into that. You would want to press further and say, "Okay, what are your expectations for the role?" There's nothing wrong with you getting very specific about what is going to be expected of you. So figure out whether it's a new position that you're applying for or whether you are backfilling a position. Now, I've got 2 more tips for you, but first, if you are enjoying these tips so far, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And what is your favorite question that I've mentioned so far? Or by the end of the video, make sure if if the last 2 happen to be one of your favorites, then mention that. Comment below. I would love to see it. Question number 4, if I were to get this role and start tomorrow, and if we were sitting in my 6-month review, and if you were thrilled with my work, what would I have to have done to achieve that result for you? This is a great question because they are going to have to list specific markers that you're going to hit or things that they are really looking for without hiding the ball. They're going to have to get specific. The more specific you can get them to be about the role that you are supposed to be filling, the better you are set up for success. That's why skipping out on the end of the interview questions altogether and saying, no, I don't have any questions, really, it's bad for you because you're not getting all the information that you need, not only to know whether you want to take the job, but how to be successful in that job once you're there, if you in fact do take the job. And the final question, question number 5. What are the next steps in your process? This is an easy one. It's a softball. You want to know what to expect. You don't want to just leave the interview and go home and never hear from them again. That's annoying. I understand every recruiter does not have the ability to reach out to everybody who submitted a resume, especially when they've gotten 500, 600 resumes to fill one job. I understand that they can't get back to everybody and say why they didn't give them an interview. But with the people who are selected for an interview, any decent employer should get back to them with a yes or a no. There should be a process for that. And you should kind of know about an ETA for this process. With some roles, there might be a second or potentially even a third interview. And some roles, it's just the one interview and they sort of get a gut feeling and then they're going to hire whoever they're going to hire. But you need to know what to expect. Also, in case you have another interview or two that you're dealing with in close proximity to this one, you want to know if their process is going to take forever or if it's going to be quick. Because let's say you have another interview the next day, and if you get the job offer, you kind of want to know how it stacks up in terms of timing with this job that you're currently sitting in an interview with. So those are the 5 best questions to ask at the end of a job interview. And be sure to check out this video for things that you should definitely avoid during an interview. Things you do not want to say, trust me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, ciao.